Hi, this is Chris and welcome to Winemaker TV. If you like wine, if you like mead, you like cider, you want to learn how to make it for yourself, this is the place for you. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know every time I come out with a new wine and a new video. Today I'll be showing you my home vineyard, so stay tuned. If you want to learn how to make wines and meads and ciders, the next step is to source your product. And what fresher product than to source it in your own yard? So I'm going to be showing you it's in the beginning stages, but my attempts at growing and starting my own grapes. I have my own apple tree started, and I'm going to be planting some of the fruit wines, like maybe a watermelon. I'm going to be planting watermelon, be planting honeydew melons, and that's a quick and easy way to get into winemaking to the next step, like pressing fresh fruit. So let's take a tour. Here is one of two noble muscadine grapes. It's a native to North America, and it's they grow here wild in my area. I planted these a few months ago, and you can see they already started wrapping and shooting out new growth. You can see that. This is new growth. It's already starting to wrap around. I got to trellis these. Like I said, I planted two. There's one. This one's a little bit in the shade more from an oak tree, but it's starting to put out new growth also. You can see right here, starting to wrap around, so I got to get these trellises put up. And then one other cool thing I noticed when I was cutting grass out here, this little fella, a volunteer wild muscadine that, like I said, they grow native to my area. It's not a cultivated cultivar, but hey, free grapes. Now here are some wild ones that's on the back part of my property. I have 3 acres, and I'm planning on filling it full of muscadine vines and apple trees to make, you know, my 2 favorites, muscadine wine and apple cider. You can see these are already starting to put little buds and flowers. That's going to be future grapes. Look at that. I just love the looks at these. Now, like I said, this is growing in a tree. I'm meaning to transplant this and propagate this. This is a dogwood tree. And with some honeysuckles. I love the smell of honeysuckles. So this is a dogwood tree growing honeysuckles and muscadine vines. How wild is that? Like I said, I have 3 acres. And I'm planning on having it full in the next 5 to 10. And on the north side of my property, just out of right off my property line, we have these blackberries. I let them grow wild. Well, of course I let them grow wild. They're not quite on my property, but this is like state land owned by the county, actually, not state. So I'm gonna have a lot of blackberries from this. See the pretty white blooms? Yeah, of course, the blackberry is also native to my area. So these are voluntary. Here is a blackberry that I planted. These are thornless. I keep them on my property because I have small children, and I don't want the wild native ones that have thorns to scratch my little girl. So I plant on my property the thornless varieties. And soon I'll be planting some blueberry bushes. So hopefully I get that this fall. And here is my Antonovka apple tree. One of, I think I got 7 left. I had 14, sorry, had 12, but only 7 are surviving now. Antonovkas are unique in the fact that they can pollinate themselves and make a true to type apple. Other apples you have to have, say, Like this one up here is a Granny Smith. This is a Granny Smith apple. And I have to have that Antonovka, something other than a Granny Smith, to pollinate this. But Antonovkas are self-pollinating and you can propagate them. These got to be, these varieties are not true to type. You take a Granny Smith apple, plant its seeds, you don't know what it's going to take. You don't know what it's going to be. But an Antonovka, if you put it in an environment where it only can pollinate with an Antonovka, it will produce true to type. Here is a shoot from my root stock of this tree, so I can actually graft and transplant this and, you know, graft onto it any variety I like. That's what's cool about this little sprig right here. That is a dwarf rootstock. Here is my garden beds. I already got some tomatoes planted. My little girls helped me plant this, and my little girl helped me plant these, and she just stuck tomatoes every which way she could. And I have some mint growing, but you have to be careful. Oh, that smells good. You have to. That'll be good in ciders, and it's good in ciders and meads. You have to be careful with this because it will take over this whole bed if you don't keep it trimmed back. Here is an apple tree that I started from seed. I have no clue what this is going to be. It'll be most likely be like a crab apple, which I'm going to add to my ciders to give it that bite and mouthfeel. I have this one. I need to stake it up because it's kind of leaning over. I also have one right here, and like I said, crab apple is going to give it the tart and the tannins and the stringency that will give your ciders an extra kick. And I've also planted some pretty stuff too. My wife's roses I planted for her. They attract your pollinators, so that's good to add pretty things for your wife and to attract pollinators. Now I'm going to be adding some blueberries in here with this too. So that's stacking like the flower beds, and we'll stack them in here with some blueberries. If you are cramped for space, you can use that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the little tour around my property and showing you all the stuff I'm working on as in planting and wise. So if you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know every time I come out with a new wine and a new video. And if you want to help support this channel, there's some links in the description below, Amazon affiliate links. Even if you don't not need the item, click the link anyway. It'll put a cookie on your computer, like a Cookie Monster, and I'll get a credit for any purchases that you make. So that's be a good way to help me buy more ingredients and more equipment. So this is Chris with Winemaker TV, and that's all there is today.